Hey, everybody, it's the coach, and this is Monday Night Football on EA Sports. We're just about set to get started, and this ought to be a good one between the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. With that, let's head over to Raymond James Stadium in Tampa for the call of this one. We bring in our broadcast teams, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
We are just a few miles from the Gulf Coast of Florida at Raymond James Stadium here in Tampa. With the echoes of cannon blast still ringing in our ears from the north end zone, the Bucs were introduced a moment ago, and they are all set as their guys will do battle with Ben Roethlisberger and the Pittsburgh Steelers. And hi again, everybody. Alongside my partner, Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Godden. And, Charles, when you and I were going through our final run-throughs at breakfast, we kept thinking tonight we're going to get to see a couple of very good passing offenses.
And we're talking about both sides having multiple receivers that can have an impact on this game. It's not just one guy that's going to make all the plays. If you take him away, maybe number 2, number 3, they make the big plays that impact who wins the game.
So out come the Bucs now for their first drive. Leading them out is going to be their quarterback. That's the grizzled vet, Ryan Fitzpatrick.
One thing that I think Ryan Fitzpatrick doesn't get enough credit for is his toughness. This is a guy who plays through injuries, but it's also being mentally tough, knowing that everyone's always trying to move him out of the lineup, trying to find a replacement for him, yet he continues to battle and has earned the total respect of his teammates.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. And his first pass is incomplete. The tight end Cameron Brate was the target. And now it's second down. And we get a glance now at the Buccaneer offense.
And Deshaun Jackson is the guy that your eyes naturally gravitate towards because he's a big play waiting to happen. In his career, usually averages about 20 yards a catch. Last season in 2017, closer to 13 yards per catch. Look for him to be recommitted to getting back downfield and catching the long ball.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. It's Big Vince Williams who made the tackle. And the starting defensive unit here for Pittsburgh.
In today's NFL, you're not just looking for height from your cornerbacks. You're looking for length in order to combat the tall wide receivers that they have to play against each and every week. And Artie Burns has all of that. In addition, he has the ability to change direction and make plays on the football in the air. And finally, he's a willing tackler, which is really key for cornerbacks today.
Third play here, this opening drive, as they're up against a 3rd and 5. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Mike Hilton. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Well, it was 3rd down. Defensively, they were just hoping to make a play and get off the field, get their offense on. Instead, they did one better. Pick it off, take it into the end zone.
Well, they did what you said. They got off the field.
They're going to have to come right back on.
They're going to come right back on, but happily, right? They put the ball in the end zone. That's the way you start a game. That's the way you set the tone.
Chris Boswell now for the extra point. Boswell good with the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick six. And now the kick is away. Fielded about a yard deep. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. Tampa Bay comes back out onto the field here. And, Charles, we revisit a topic you and I had a couple of weeks ago when we were looking at Tampa Bay's first 3 games. And we kind of said, hey, if they get out of there with 1 win, that's a success. Well, they're 2-0 right now.
Yeah, we did say that, didn't we? But what did we actually think? I'll ask you first.
0-3.
That's what I thought. Definitely, I thought it was going to be an 0-3 start, and then Winston would come back, and they'd have to start over again. Now, instead, they're 2 to the good, possibility of being 3-0. I don't know that you make a change with Ryan Fitzpatrick right now. I think he's taken over that team, and as hot as he's been, Jameis Winston will have to earn his way back.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves him back 5.
Still first down.
The false start backs him up 5, 1st and 15. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And nothing doing on his first run. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's it. No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down.
When you try to create space for your running back, the first thought is how physical is the offensive line. Sometimes it's just positioning. On that play, it didn't matter about positioning or being physical. The defensive front, they out-leveraged them and won the battle.
Now a 2nd down throw for Fitzpatrick. And a catch right side by Evans. And they'll get 9 there as that sets him up better for 3rd down. And on 3rd down, a nickel formation here defensively. Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down. That makes him now 0 for 2 here in the first quarter on 3rd down conversions.
And now they'll look to their defense because they need them to step up so they don't fall further behind here in the early going.
On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. Back deep for the Steelers, Antonio Brown. This is brought in at the 21. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A look at the veteran Ben Roethlisberger as he and the Pittsburgh Steelers trot out there, and they are winless through 2 weeks of the season. The tie week 1 against Cleveland, and then the loss at home against Kansas City. And now all of a sudden people wondering, what's going on with Big Ben and the Steelers?
It seems like everything's okay when you look at his stat line. He threw for 452 yards. He threw for 3 touchdowns. He passed John Elway to move into 7th place all-time in passing yards, over 51,000 of them. But they can't close out shootouts. Remember the playoffs last year against Jacksonville? Couldn't close that one out. Didn't do it again this past week with Patrick Mahomes in Kansas City. Their defense not upholding what their offense is doing.
Yeah, Mahomes threw 6 touchdown passes against that defense. And he'll rumble for about 5, up close to the 40. And let's take a look at the Steeler offense.
A big reason this team led the league in offense, their offensive line. Monster strength. 3 Pro Bowlers last year in Alejandro Villanueva, David DeCastro, and Marquise Pouncey. Kept their quarterbacks upright to throw it downfield and carved a lot of holes for their runners.
Roethlisberger will hand a counter. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. Call it a loss of 2 on the play. And that's going to bring up the 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. What that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
And the Bucs with an extra defender in the secondary now on third down. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he'll find Washington. That's complete. And he's taken down, but not before getting this across midfield and just shy of the 40. They convert on third with a gain of 22. And that's one of his advantages of a passer, is it not? With his height, setting back there in the pocket, firing it over the middle, he can really see everything clearly.
It is, and I know that other quarterbacks get it done different ways, all right? You don't have to be his height to make a great play, but what he does is he takes away having to make those slide steps in the pocket to find angles to throw the ball through. He just throws right over the top of it because he can see everything, and sometimes that saves time and gets the ball to a receiver quicker.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 at the 42-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 13 yards that time, and another first down. For James Conner, week 1 he was great, 135 yards, a pair of scores. Week 2, didn't approach those kinds of numbers, not that you would hold him to that level again.
No, not at all. And the hard part for him, because he only had 17 yards on the ground, he did score 1 rushing touchdown. But he had to get involved in the passing game more because they were down big to Kansas City right out of the gate. So the ball had to be thrown. Big Ben threw it 60 times. That means you're not turning around and handing it to James Conner in the running game as often as they would like.
Right back to him on first down. And he'll take this down just shy of the 25-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. The starting 11 defensively for Tampa Bay.
And linebacker Levante David uses his speed and his smarts to overwhelm opposing offenses. Forced 5 fumbles in 2017. That's a carryover from what we saw him do at the University of Nebraska. He's a guy you got to count for on every snap.
Here we go.
Here's Conner. Down to the 25. Just a 1-yard pickup there, and it's going to make it third down at 6.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
On third down, Roethlisberger. Open man, Smith-Schuster, it's complete. And he gets this down to the 18, good enough for a first down.
In today's football, where receivers break tackles, make people miss, get upfield for the extra yardage, when you see a play like that where it's caught and he's dropped on the spot, that's a big-time play by the defense.
A first opportunity for the Steelers in the red zone. They have a 1st and 10 at the 18. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And he's got his man, the tight end, McDonald. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Now that's staying ahead of the chains. Really good pickup on first down, hitting the tight end there. Now it brings up a second and manageable.
Just found a hole in that zone. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
Set. Blue 30.
They'll run it now out of the gun. 7 yards on the pickup there, and now they've got it 1st and goal. You were telling me this yesterday. This is exactly what they want to do on the opening drive, establish the ground game.
Yeah, remember our conversation? We were talking about what one of the GMs in the league has told me repeatedly. It's a big man's game, and it's not necessarily size. He's talking about playing some big boy football. Line up, get leverage, knock people back, and establish the run early.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield.
He has elite instincts from his linebacker spot. He's able to diagnose the run and flies in like a missile to stop that one behind the line of scrimmage.
It's 2nd and goal, back to the 8-yard line now. They'll give it to him up the middle. And he stopped immediately there. It'll go as no gain on the play, and now they're looking at a 3rd and goal. So stuff for no gain on 2nd down brings up a pretty interesting 3rd from this distance.
I'm throwing the ball, and I'm not even thinking about play pass. I'm going to let them know right away I'm throwing it, but I'm probably giving my quarterback some room, sprint him out to one side or the other, and give him an opportunity. If it breaks down, he can take off and run for it.
Roethlisberger finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. It'll wind up being a loss of 2, and that'll bring up 4th down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
So on 4th down, the Steelers call on the number of Chris Boswell for the field goal try. And Boswell's kick is good. And the lead moves to 10-zip. So they get 3, certainly hoping for 6 after a 13-play drive.
So you console yourself on defense by saying you did your job, right? If they go 13 plays, you only give up a field goal, you did a nice job there. But here's the other part. 13 plays, you don't force any mistakes, you don't take the ball away. Maybe that's the way they should look at it.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. On the return, this is Jaquiz Rogers. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. Now the Buccaneers offense gets ready to head back onto the field. And the results for them have not been strong to this point. 2 drives have ended in a turnover and then a punt.
So would it be too snarky for me to say that they've shown improvement? Because you had two drives with turnovers. Now they punted it away, so at least they didn't turn it over. So that's good, right?
You're going to get some angry users reaching out to you on social media.
Well, I don't mean to be. I was actually looking for the positive. Silver lining, you know.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And takes this one across the 35 to the 36, a gain of about 4.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down, a very solid gain on that play.
On play action, Fitzpatrick. Trying to get it to Jackson, and it's intercepted. picked off by Bud Dupree. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Short throw pick 6 right there. Those linebackers, they love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
Boswell for the extra point. Extra point put through by Boswell. And that makes our score 17-0. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here again comes the captain of this offense leading his crew back out there now. Bottom line, he's got to figure things out. He's completed 3 passes, but 2 of them have been to the wrong team so far.
And when we talk about the best quarterbacks, we're usually talking about touchdown to interception ratio, aren't we? And 2 to 1 is acceptable, but the top line guys, 3 to 1 or better is what they're looking for. Now we're talking about interceptions versus completions. That's not a ratio should ever be in any discussion.
Back to it after the pick 6. Fitzpatrick throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. He'll be dropped at the 30. The shifty move got him a couple extra on the play. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down.
I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on 1st down. The first carry here for Jaquiz Rodgers. And he'll get this up only to about the 33. There to stop him, Terrell Edmonds.
Partner, we know today's NFL is really built around the guy throwing the football. But these short runs, they still pay dividends because they can take their toll on a defense and they can add up as the game goes along. You control the clock, you control the ball, and that way you often control the game.
Fitzpatrick on 3rd and 2. And this is caught by Jackson. His first catch, good for 9 and a 1st down.
Nice catch right there. Brings to mind the sentence, when in doubt, find your veterans.
He used to laugh back in the day when they would call guys like him crafty veterans. You get up in your 30s, you're still playing receiver, but you're around that long at that position, you're doing something right.
Just remember this. When he was young, he thought the crafty veteran was simply a guy who couldn't run anymore. Now he understands a little bit better.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. No gain on the play there. 2nd down.
No gain on that run. And while this team is down, they're not out of it by any stretch of the imagination. Maybe you just have to think about different style of running in order to get this guy going.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And that one blown up quickly as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. It's a loss of 2, now 3rd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
The Bucs on third down. Just 1 for 3 thus far. This is third down and 12.
Move 45. Move 45.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Well, no second guessing the call here. It was third and long, so throwing the football was probably the smart play to try and pick it up. But they don't get it, and now the defense goes off the field feeling pretty good about themselves, gaining some momentum as they force them into a likely punting situation.
Here's Brian Anger now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. And problems spreading to the punt team now. This one goes all the way into the end zone on the fly, so that'll come back to the 20. Well, let's take a closer look at the start that the Steelers have had this season as they come back onto the field here. We talked about it. They're 0-1-1. The tie to the Browns, the loss to KC, and now all of a sudden you got the Ravens coming in, and that looks like a game now that they can't really afford to lose.
And they don't want to look ahead. They need to focus on the Ravens and find a way to get a win. But if they do, after that, they're home for Atlanta, and then they're at Cincinnati, who has jumped into the fray this year as a contender in the AFC North. So plenty of work for the Steelers to do. Too early to give up on them. Their pedigree's too good, but it's not too early to focus in on Baltimore. They need this win.
And the AFC North looking a lot more intriguing than most thought a couple of weeks ago. The first play of the drive there is incomplete.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. They run with Connor. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. He lost 2 there, and it's 3rd down.
Came out in a power set, but that only served to put more men in the box. And guess what? If you're going to do that, you've got to win up front, right? Your offensive guys have got to beat the defenders. They lost all leverage on that play.
The Steelers on 3rd down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd down and 12. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. And he can't hang on to it. Nearly picked. He's known for his hands defensively, but instead it just brings up 4th down.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on 3rd down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. 3rd down, you got to try and find something. There's nothing available there for him.
On 4th down, here comes the Steeler punter Jordan Berry to kick it away. Adam Humphries deep for Tampa Bay. That's taken on the 25. And that's going to go in the books as a 55-yard punt. Well done. And the Bucs will get ready to go on offense. Now the Buccaneers offensive unit back out on the field. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But, hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Airing this one out for Evans. So they took a shot on 1st down, but couldn't connect.
One of the toughest things about playing defensive back is pattern reading, trying to figure out what they're doing. And on that one, they had the fly, just sending a guy downfield with the in route accompanying it, what people call a dagger route, trying to hit the guy underneath after the clear out. In this case, though, they're not able to get it done.
Yeah, they said forget the underneath route. They went for the guy on the fly, but as you said, incomplete. Now Fitzpatrick, incomplete. The intended receiver that time, Adam Humphries. And now it's third down.
Partner, I think it's high time to get him some passes that he's comfortable with. Some easy throws, some completions. He's not even hitting the 50% thus far.
Well, certainly that has played a big role into why they are trailing right now. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has them staring at a 3rd and 10. Operating from the gun. Fitzpatrick. Open man is Godwin. It's complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. His first catch, good for 14 there and a first down. Before they can run another play, the clock hits triple zeros. And time is up on the first quarter. Already 17-0 our score. We'll return to Tampa after this message. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports.
The NFL on EA Sports is fueled by Gatorade, the sports fuel company.
Back now with Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's the Bucs in possession of the football as we begin the second quarter, and they've got it here with a first down. Play fake. It's Fitzpatrick. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. It's a big play there for the Buccaneers. 42 yards.
Usually hitting a deep post pattern, as we just saw there, for a big gainer, that's tough to do because you usually have a safety or two in the middle of the field. But if you hit enough crossers and underneath routes and curls, you start to get those guys creeping up, wanting to make plays on the football. It's the equivalent of a changeup in baseball. You show your other stuff, throw the changeup, and on that play, it worked for big yardage.
First time into the red zone for the Buccaneers. They've got a 1st and 10 at the 15. From the red zone now, Fitzpatrick. His throw incomplete. He was looking for Jaquiz Rodgers there, and that'll bring up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. To throw again. Fitzpatrick. And his throw is going to be incomplete. This drive, which was going so smoothly, all of a sudden it's a little bit of a roadblock here with 2 straight incompletions.
Yeah, apparently this defense has had enough. Apparently they're saying no more. We're making a stand right here, right now. But it is 3rd and 10. They've got to get after him one more time.
This offense was on the move. Now 2 straight incompletions have them looking at 3rd and 10. Now whistles here before the snap. Looked like one of the Bucs may have moved.
False start, offense.
That's going to set them back 5 yards.
Still 3rd down.
So the false start certainly doesn't help matters as they'll try again now, 3rd and long. They'll throw again. Fitzpatrick. His throw caught right around the 6. And he's going to be brought down just shy of the 5 at the 6. It'll be a pickup of 14, but they're still a little bit short as it brings up 4th. And Deshaun Jackson, he's been a friend of Ryan Fitzpatrick so far this year. He's been targeted 9 times for 2 games, and he has caught all 9 balls.
Like the percentage.
Very good.
I mean, that's pretty strong, isn't it? How about against the Eagles? Would you call this another big game? 4 catches, 129 yards, another long touchdown of 75. He's now caught 7 touchdown passes of 75 yards or more in his career. Ties him with Jerry Rice, of course, and Terrell Owens for the most of that type of touchdown pass since the merger. Deshaun Jackson and his deep speed always scares people. Didn't connect on it last year. He's off to a terrific start in 2018.
Now after the made field goal, Catanzaro to boot this one away on the kickoff. On the return, it's Juju Smith-Schuster. And not a bad return here. He gets it out to the 25-yard line. The Steelers offense now, they get ready to head back on the field. And on the last go-around, they really couldn't get anything going.
They had to punt from deep inside their own territory, which means you're going to lose the field position battle as a general rule. What they're looking for now is a little more consistency, move the ball at least a few times on offense, get a couple of first downs, and hopefully flip the field.
Yeah, just something to build off of. That's what they're looking for here. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 25-yard line. The drive will start with Connor, and he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Tackle made that time by Vita Vea.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
Connor. It's a loss of 4. Now 3rd down.
That goes down as a loss against his rushing stats. But really, should he have to absorb that one? He had no chance on that play before they overwhelmed him.
Pretty much on top of him before he could take his first step. And the Steelers on 3rd down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 14. From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Going top shelf for Smith-Schuster. And he can't quite intercept it. Zone coverage, free safety was there. Couldn't come up with it, and now it's 4th down.
You're down 2 touchdowns. You just know defensively you absolutely have to come up with a big play. That nearly was one right there.
Looked over at the sideline immediately after the drop and just saw the dejection. They felt it. They thought he had it. Unfortunately, couldn't come up with it. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. It's taken to the 26. It'll be a 51-yard punt that time. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. So out come the Bucs now. And last time they got 3 points, but it was a chip shot field goal. And when you go to the sideline after a chip shot field goal, maybe the offense not too happy.
It's a balancing act, isn't it? Because you're exactly right. They're none too pleased that they didn't punch it in for 6 points. But they also have to remember they did put points on the board.
3 points is 3 points.
And in this league, you take points when you can get them. Not easily done.
The Buccaneers in good field position here to start out 1st and 10. They go play action. Fitzpatrick over the middle, and it's incomplete. Big O.J. Howard, his intended target. And it's second down. Well, taking a glance across the NFL through 2 weeks of the season, you've got quite a few teams that are winless, which obviously makes sense 2 weeks in. But the John Gruden era not off to the best start there at 0-2, Charles.
Yeah, you're exactly right about that, Brandon. I mean, the Raiders, I believe this is the 15th time in franchise history they've started 0-2. None of the previous 14 times have they started 0-2 and made the playoffs. So the John Gruden era, not off to the start they're looking for, but I do think they're going to improve during the year. I wouldn't rule them out just yet. They might make a little bit of history with their franchise. I think the Steelers and the Browns at 0-1-1, it's an odd record, but the Browns actually feel halfway decent about it if they can fix their kicking. The Steelers, utterly disappointed they're 0-1-1.
Yeah, but the Browns, you're right, they could very easily be 2-0 right now. Play action now. Fitzpatrick. Going up top. And incomplete. He can't hang on. Would have been a nice catch. Instead, it brings up a fourth down.
Another dangerous throw there, partner. I mean, he's already thrown 2 interceptions here in the first half. I don't know if you want to keep throwing up 50-50 balls when you've had that kind of lack of success.
Yeah, absolutely. Very well could have been a third interception in half number 1. Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback. Back onto the field now comes the wideout Antonio Brown. Not only does he not have a catch, I don't think he's been targeted in this game, but they're winning.
And if you ask a receiver of his magnitude, he'll tell you that it's because everyone is focused on him anyway. Okay, you've taken it away. No catches, no targets, but we're still winning. I've opened things up for the rest of my team. I know how receivers think.
They've been using him as a decoy, and effectively so. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their own 20-yard line. Here's Roethlisberger. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. No gain on the play there. It'll be second down. Had the completed pass, but for no gain, stopped right at the line, so it's 2nd and 10. Now it's Connor. And he finds some space past the 25 to the 27. 8 yards there on the carry, and now they're left with a much more manageable 3rd and 3.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice solid gain. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits and leaves creases like they were able to exploit right there.
The Steelers on 3rd down, 2 for 5 to this point. Here it's 3rd and 3. Now it's Roethlisberger, but it's brought in by Washington. And he's going to get to the 31, enough for the 1st down. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
This has to go down as one of the simpler routes in the playbook, but oh so effective. Nice completion there. Keeps the sticks moving.
On 1st down, it's Roethlisberger. And, oh, he took that in one-handed. What a grab. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
Antonio Brown, AB, with just one hand to complete that catch. Is there anything he can't do?
He has just continued to impress year after year, hasn't he?
He has never forgotten that he wasn't considered an elite receiver coming out of college. I think every snap he takes it upon himself to prove that he should have been.
Now Roethlisberger to throw on 2nd down. And down he goes, a Buccaneer sack. Lavonte David coming hard on the blitz. He dumps him for a loss of 8.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. So the sack, and now a 3rd and long situation for the Steelers and Ben Roethlisberger. Now it's Roethlisberger. And he's going to go down again. Noah Spence in there to drop him, and back-to-back sacks now bring up 4th and long.
But Brandon, sometimes I think when we watch games, we're actually watching a living museum because we're seeing the evolution of positions almost with each passing game. How about defensive ends nowadays and the way that they can run almost all the way across the field?
It is unbelievable, isn't it? I mean, they're so strong, but they're so lean. They can move so quick with those bodies.
It's almost unfair. You're supposed to be able to know where a defensive end is supposed to be on every play. These guys flash so quickly, you're not sure where they're going to end up.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. Fair catch called for and made right at the 25-yard line. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. They've given him some touches. They haven't had a lot of success on the ground. Do you maybe keep going to that well, or do you mix it up more?
I think you mix it up more, try and loosen things up. Get the defense to react to other people, other plays, but don't forget about it. That's your horse. You know, Secretariat lost twice in his career.
So educational. That's very true, kids. Look it up. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up 2nd down.
When you put together a formula for winning defense, it's exactly what we're seeing in this game. Controlling the line of scrimmage, attacking, and changing everything so that now they're playing in the offense's backfield. They're playing an excellent game.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage. No gain that time, and it leaves him with 3rd and 11 coming up.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
The Bucs on 3rd down, lacking much success, just 2 for 7 to this point. This is 3rd and 11.
Move 45.
From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. Got his target. It's Jaquiz Rodgers. And he'll get it up to the 33-yard line. It's a gain of 9 yards. And it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And a great job here. This is going to turn out to be a beauty. This is marked down at about the 3-yard line. Set to go again as we look at the back heading onto the field again. He's hoping to get it going. They're hoping to get him going too. You know, he's about ready to pop one here in the 2nd quarter. He's hoping.
And his offensive line teammates, they want to get one of those too because they want to continue to run the football. Most offensive linemen like that part of the game better than pass protection because they're not taking blows, they're actually dealing them out. So what they want to do is show the coaches, hey, if we pop one, we're having success. That way they won't go away from the running game.
He'll be hoping to pop one, break one here this go-around. It's Connor as they stay on the ground. And he's going to be taken down shy of the 5-yard line. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
That first down play, all you want to do is wedge out any type of space and try and create enough room. If you have to run the punter out there, he can successfully complete the punt.
Yeah, didn't get a ton there, but at least some positive yardage.
Hey, ready? Like 80.
And they'll run it here. And he'll take this forward only up to about the 7. Give him 3 yards, and now they're left needing a conversion here on 3rd and 6.
Gerald McCoy is always going to be linked with Ndamukong Suh. They came into the NFL in the same draft class. There's a lot of debate about who was going to be the better defensive tackle. They just do it 2 different ways. McCoy, more movement, more elusiveness. That allowed him to make the play there for a short game.
From the gun on 3rd down, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle here to Brown. And they'll get him down up past the 15. Roethlisberger hooking up with Brown to get the Steelers a first.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Roethlisberger now 8 of 11 in this first half. He's got it 1st and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's taken down, but not before he gets this across the 25-yard line. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will.
And that's the big fella's MO right there. Running through tackles, keeping the sticks moving forward. This defense, if you don't bring 11 guys to the ball to try and get him on the ground, he's going to keep making runs like that. I feel the press box shaking every time he touches the rock.
They go play action here on 1st down. He's going deep for Brown. Oh, incomplete. The rookie had it and lost it there. And it'll be 2nd down.
Oh, man, that was close. The opportunity to change momentum, big play, right in his hands, unable to come down with it.
A sigh of relief, no doubt, on offense as that fell harmlessly to the ground. An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. And they'll go on the ground. And he stopped immediately there. No gain on that one as it brings up a 3rd and 10.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat? And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And a big loss here as he's taken down. Gerald McCoy in there to make the play. It'll be a loss of 14, and it'll bring up a 4th down. Well, they went with the nickel. They throw in an extra defensive back. Coverage was very good.
Yeah, it was exactly as you would expect. A passing down. You bring in the nickel package. Just as you described, the coverage was excellent and allowed one of their linemen to end up getting to the quarterback.
Here's Jordan Berry now, standing just about on his own goal line. That's a 48-yard punt with a coverage holding him to 3 on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. A look at the running back, the man out of the backfield as he gears up to go again. He's just been looking for some space. I'm not going to pin it on him or the offensive line, but they need to get this run game going better.
Sometimes you just have to credit the defense. They came in with a plan themselves. So I think now you try and mix things up a little bit. Get the ball in the hands of some other people, find some other playmakers, but always let the defense believe that he's still a threat.
I was going to say, don't forget about it.
No, don't take him totally out of the game.
Fitzpatrick on first down. That's caught by the big tight end, O.J. Howard. And he'll get up to the 43-yard line. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down.
And, partner, I think that's a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
2 minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to Tampa after this timeout. Fans, a reminder, I have a note card here that says ad-lib halftime previews. So I guess let's do just that as we'll hand things over to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando when this one reaches halftime. Did I do okay?
You did great. Not a bad job.
Hey.
Writing down your ad-libs.
If you print it, I'm going to read it. I'm Brandon Gaudin. Now a second down throw for Fitzpatrick. It's brought in by Adam Humphries. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. He's got his first catch here before halftime, and it goes for a first down. Wide open receiver complete. Touchdown, Tampa Bay. Justin Watson, 46 yards. And the Bucs have made this a one-score game. Great corner route there. Not only able to catch it, turn it upfield, and get into the end zone.
It usually involves a little bit of an extra move, doesn't it? You've got to get them thinking that you're moving to the middle of the field, and you're breaking away to that corner. Boy, that was well executed.
Here's Chandler Catanzaro for the extra point. Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And that slices the lead down to 17-10. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Smith-Schuster now to return. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
They start with a give to counter. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. And the tackle there by Quan Alexander.
As usual, the hallmark of a good run defense, linebackers making plays near the line of scrimmage. Absolutely nowhere to run there.
On second down, Roethlisberger. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete. Breaking that one up was Justin Evans. Read it perfectly.
When I watched that play, I thought about what my coaches have told me in the past. The biggest teaching point, get your head around. Locate the football so you can make a play on it while it's in the air. That's exactly what he did there. That was nice.
The Steelers on third down. Not quite 50%. 4 for 9. This is 3rd and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. And now the Bucs deciding to take a timeout defensively, as they'll stop it with exactly a minute to go before halftime. And now following that timeout, the defense back out onto the field. Here's Jordan Berry now. He's been terrific so far. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. Fielded just inside the 20. A good kick, 49 yards. Just 3 on the return. Now the Buccaneer offense gets set to take over. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
First down, Fitzpatrick. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out, incomplete. Well, let's take a step away from this game for a second. Talk about teams that are undefeated through 2 weeks in the NFL season. Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, Tampa Bay. How about those surprises all being 2-0 right now?
Yeah, the Jaguars, the Chiefs, and the Rams are all 2-0. Not a major surprise. You're exactly right, because they have one common characteristic, those teams you mentioned, Miami, Denver, Cincinnati, and Tampa. None of them made the playoffs last year. And what's the one thing we do know about the NFL? Roughly half the teams that made the playoffs a year before will not make them 2 years in a row. So these teams could be some of the early replacements in the playoff race for 2018.
And one more stat, 62% of teams that start 2-0 make the playoffs. The Bucs on third down. They've struggled to the tune of 2 for 8 so far. This is 3rd and 7.
Hey! Move, 45! Move, 45!
Working out of the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he's got some space here. Now the Steelers put a stop to the action with a timeout defensively, as they stop it here with just under 40 ticks to go in this first half. The defense, they got a little bit of a breather. Now they're back and set as we resume play. Here's Brian Anger now, as he'll come on for his 5th kick of the night. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And that'll hit at the 5 and go into the end zone for a touchback. There again is the running back as he trots onto the field. He's been effective so far, over the 40-yard mark here in the second quarter. Don't forget about those guys up front, though. They've been effective, too.
The leverage game has been in their favor. They've been the ones who've been able to bend their knees, drop their hips, and get a little bit lower than the guys on the other side of the football, and they've moved them out of the way for the runner.
Sometimes that's tough for those big fellas.
Not an easy thing for them to do.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he'll power his way up near the 25. It's a pickup of 4, and it'll bring up second down. Tough running there. That's a hard-earned 4 yards.
Yeah, those are the unsung kind of runs. They don't fill up the stat sheet, but they do set you up in good position on second down.
So we've reached halftime here with the visiting Steelers out in front. As we send you a stone's throw away across I-4 to Orlando. There standing by is Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach?
All right, Brandon, thanks very much. Welcome, everybody, to our abbreviated version of the EA Sports Halftime Report. We want to remind you that new this year in regular season games, I'll take you around the NFL, give you stats and scores from games in progress, as well as look back at games that have already been completed. So keep an eye out for that. But for now, let's get you back out to Brandon and Charles.
So time for the second half as the Steelers have the lead, and they will also be receiving the football here to start the third quarter. Fielded about a yard deep. And all that work, but he stopped where he ultimately would have been, and he's simply taken a knee, and that's the 25-yard line. The Steeler offense now with a football first here to begin the third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking for some separation here as we begin the third quarter.
I like the way you term that, because now I think they go a little bit deeper into their playbook. They like what they did in the first half. That worked okay. But in order to get the separation that you just talked about, change things up a little bit. Change your tendencies. Try and hit them a little bit more with some things they didn't see in the first half.
We'll see if they do just that. Big Ben and the Steelers with a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
On 2nd down, here's Roethlisberger. And that's complete to Jesse James. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. The reception good for 7. It's 3rd down.
An ex-teammate used to tell me all the time, I hate experienced quarterbacks because no matter what, you really can't hide what you're doing. And I think that right there, he knew right away where the blitz was coming from, where his primary guy was going to be, and he ended up going to a secondary target for a nice game.
I was just going to ask you, that wasn't the primary target. He's so good at that, isn't he?
I think he knew right away that he wasn't going to get to his primary guy. I think he read that as soon as he got to the line of scrimmage, knew where the pressure was going to come from, and said, I know how to beat that, and that's what he did.
Give him 3 yards and a fresh set of downs.
Brandon, they're still in the lead, but momentum's certainly been going the opposite direction. So to me, that's a really important pickup there on 3rd down.
Try and regain some confidence, and you're right. They need to stem the tide a little bit. That certainly helped. Running game working. They'll stick with it on 1st down. And he'll get this up to about the 40. Noah Spence in on the stop.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them.
Let's go, let's go.
And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll push this forward only to about the 42-yard line. It'll be a pickup of a couple, and it leaves them with a 3rd and 3.
Well, you know that old expression, it's not my night? It hasn't been his so far. I don't know if the legs are a little bit heavy. Sometimes having to hang out all day and play doesn't exactly play to your advantage, but it's been a tough go for him.
And every time he looks up, somebody's there defensively. That was the same case on that play. Now Roethlisberger. James has it. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. Roethlisberger to his big target, James. All 6-7 of him for a Steeler first down.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
Roethlisberger now hitting on 2/3 of his passes, 10 for 15 so far. 1st and 10. From the shotgun, it's Roethlisberger. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
I hope I don't sound too rah-rah on that one, but that's the exact right throw. Either your receiver gets it or no one gets it. Give him a lot of credit for being really precise with it.
Got rid of it, no one got it. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. M.J. Stewart made the tackle from his corner spot.
Well, he didn't make headway on that one. He's had plenty of carries all night long. I just wonder if maybe he's a little bit tired from toting the rock that much.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete. A pickup of 24 on the 3rd down conversion. And a good quarterback facing zone coverage. If he has just a little bit of time to survey the scene, that's what's going to happen.
No doubt about it. If there's no pressure, he's going to continue to pick them apart because he'll have all that time to find someone open downfield. You can only cover for so long. So maybe they want to go to a zone blitz scheme, get a little bit more pressure. Remember when Carolina did that against Denver? They lost the game ultimately. They dropped the defensive end out, and he ended up with an interception in that game in Super Bowl 50. Maybe some sort of scheme like that to try and get more pressure at the passer.
Roethlisberger now 11 of 17 passing thus far. He's got his guys a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Got his man, it's caught for a Steelers touchdown. Vance McDonald from 19 yards away. And the Steelers are going to add on to their lead. A good, sustained drive there in this 3rd quarter, capping it off with a touchdown to give them a nice 2-score advantage.
It was actually a fun one to watch, wasn't it? I mean, for me, seeing the mix of what they did, how they moved the ball downfield, very sharp, too. Each and every play seemed to be executed with great dispatch.
Boswell good with the extra point, and the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. So that one a pretty time-consuming 10-play drive, and it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Boswell on now to kick this one away. Rodgers on the return. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Here comes the Buccaneers offense. They get their first reps of the second half. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
Well, you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And he'll slip his way up across the 30 to the 32. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
Well, it's time for them to be good teammates right here. And what I mean by that is possess the ball for a little while. Get at least 2 first downs. Give their defense a chance to settle down a little bit after they give up a touchdown.
Fitzpatrick now on second down. Bringing it in, Jackson left side. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. A good pickup there at 22.
Okay, what can't Deshaun Jackson do? All right, we know about the catches. We just saw another one there. Also gets involved in the return game. And he can break big plays like that. We've seen him do it throughout his NFL career.
We have. What are you thinking of anything in particular?
I'm still remembering a certain Giants punter not following orders, and Deshaun Jackson made that big-time return all the way back for a game winner in that one. I still remember seeing the looks of disbelief on the Giants sideline.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
Another carry now for Rodgers. Cameron Hayward in on the tackle. So he runs it for 1 yard, then no gain. I don't know that you go back to that well here on third down.
Yeah, I don't know that you do as well, but if you want to get the ball to him, if you want him to have it, maybe you get him into space and throw it to him.
The Bucs on third down. Not so hot. 2 for 9 to this point. This is 3rd and 9. From the gun, Fitzpatrick. Right side caught by Jackson. Give him 10 yards there as this offense is on a roll. This drive continues to plunge forward.
I don't care how many times we see it. I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
Now a play fake here on first down. They'll roll him out right. And he'll go down at the 28. He'll get 8 on the scramble there. It'll be 2nd and a couple.
They brought the blitz that time, and I thought they were going to get to him, but instead he flipped it on its ear and ended up picking up positive yardage.
I thought he was dead to rights, but you are exactly correct, sir. Able to turn that into a positive gain. Second down, Fitzpatrick. And a catch right side by Evans. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. That one good for 7 as this long drive continues and the chains move again.
When he decided to run a hitch route, it really helps to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
And they'll run it here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
I think Cameron Hayward's ability to take on blocks, hold the point of attack, and get upfield serves him very, very well. What a nice play there.
Yeah, he can take on blocks because he's built like a block. And they'll go on the ground. Give him 2 on that run, and they're still left looking at a third and about 9 to go. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On third down, Fitzpatrick. That's complete, middle of the field to Humphreys. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a first and goal.
You can see the time and effort and thought that they put into their passing game because it was evident right there. It looks like a simple pitch and catch, but you and I both know that they have planned for this and worked hard to make it happen.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game.
Hey, you got 3. Set. Blue 45. Blue 45.
From the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he's got his tight end, Howard. It's a Buccaneer touchdown. O.J. Howard, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Bucs are able to make this a close game again. And he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Catanzaro now for the extra point. Extra point good by Catanzaro. And that cuts the lead to 24-17. A pretty long drive that time. 11 plays all told. And it ends with a touchdown for the Bucs. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Getting set to go again, Ben Roethlisberger heading back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side, you know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game, but that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Now a handoff looking right. And he'll go down right at the 30-yard line. 5 yards on the carry. Good pickup on first down.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
From the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete. Antonio Brown, the intended receiver, and it's 3rd and 5.
One thing I have learned, receivers don't mind high throws so much to the sideline, but do that over the middle to them, and not only are the DBs going to throw a little verbal trash their way, when they get back to the huddle, they're going to have a few words to say to their QB, aren't they?
Yeah, hung out to dry a little bit there on the high throw. Luckily, fell incomplete. Out of the gun, it's Roethlisberger. Over the middle, complete. That's James. And he's able to get out to the 32, brought down there. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
Then we got to give a little tip of the cap for the defense there. Zone coverage, locked it in tight, made it really difficult because they tried the crossing route against it, and it worked for a completion, but you have to know where the sticks are on 3rd down. Didn't get beyond them, no pickup.
Here's Jordan Berry now, as he'll come on to kick for a 6th time tonight. And Tampa Bay trots out there now. Now, they were good last time out with a touchdown drive. This go-around, it's not going to be very easy starting from inside their own 5.
But they shouldn't be daunted by it. You work on this the entire offseason. You work on it in practice. It's called coming out session. Start the ball inside the 5, start on the 5, on the 10. They should be ready to go.
And they'll go with the ground attack here. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. It'll be a loss of a yard, and they'll be facing a 3rd and 12.
Stephon Tuitt came out of Notre Dame as another one of those really tall defensive ends, and you just wonder, would they be able to have the leverage to bend and make plays? I think he just gave us an answer with that tackle.
Facing the prospect of a punt from their own end zone, they need some cushion. Let's see what they can do on 3rd down. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And not much there as he gets it up to about the 5-yard line. Give him 3 yards there as that'll take us to 4th down.
Well, they got off the field on 3rd down. Excellent job, an excellent defensive series. We always talk about adjustments and usually only at halftime. But the best teams adjust series to series. And on that series, they adjusted so well that they got the job done in fine style.
Here's Brian Anger now as he's on to punt for Tampa Bay. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. With it is Brown. Nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Here comes Ben Roethlisberger and the Steeler offense back onto the field. He's been pretty solid, pretty consistent, just the 1 touchdown pass, but I think he's managed the game well, no?
I would agree with you, and that's what you're looking for out of your field leader, making sure that you're playing well and not making any big mistakes. Oftentimes, that's how you're judged. How big a mistake and when it occurs. No interception so far. They'll like that.
I just want you to know that you agreeing with me, that's going to get me through this 3rd and 4th quarter. Are you touched? He's patting his heart, boys and girls. He's tough.
Respect.
Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete.
Tremendous coverage there. Just did not catch the football, complete the interception. But what do they say all the time? If he had really good hands, he'd be playing offense.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. 9 yards on the pickup there as they'll be left with 3rd and 1. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this. This is the NFL, and it's on EA Sports. Back now in Tampa. It's Steeler football, and they have the lead as well as we begin quarter number 4. On 3rd down, it's Connor. And he'll get this down only to about the 46. Give him a yard on the play, and he's definitely short. It'll be 4th down and a few inches. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
And Tampa Bay trots out there now. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with the game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
A first down throw for Fitzpatrick. Dancing to his left. And they'll bring him down here right around the 17-yard line. Give him a couple on the scramble. It's 2nd down.
Yeah, he only gets a few yards on 1st and 10, but he's better off doing that than throwing an incompletion or even worse, an interception.
To throw on 2nd down. Fitzpatrick. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up 3rd down.
They went with a dime look on defense. 2 extra defensive backs on the field and covered up essentially every blade of grass. That allowed them to disrupt the play.
So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. From the shotgun, it's Fitzpatrick. And this is going to be incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely. Just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Here's Brian Anger now, standing just outside his own goal line. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Now Brown. Well, he wasn't too far from breaking that. Officially, give him 15. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field.
They were forced to punt last time. Now, I doubt sincerely that they'll have to punt here because they're gifted with terrific field position.
I don't even want to think about the idea that they would end up punting starting with this type of field position. Neither do they. Great starting spot, great opportunity to run your full playbook. If they want to take a shot here, they can go ahead and do it.
So good field position for the Steelers as they come up 1st and 10. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. So he got free of one tackle but couldn't do a whole lot else. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
But Brandon, pace comes into play now because they've got the advantage. They've got the football, but they've got to be very careful about what speed they're going to play. You know, my music teacher back in New Paltz, Mrs. Bythema Bagley, used to say, don't go prestissimo when you really want to go largo. And what she meant by that is don't go too fast when you really want to go at a nice, slow, deliberate pace.
I am speechless. I am without speech. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he is out of bounds inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, probably the only thing he did wrong there was go out of bounds, nursing this 4th quarter lead. You want to stay in, eat the clock.
Yeah, you got to love the effort, the catch, the extra yardage, but you got to know the situation. Stay in bounds, young man.
So from Buccaneer territory now, it's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. Now they try the right side here. And forget about finding a lane. He barely had time to look up before he was planted in the backfield. Run blitz there defensively, something we might see more of here in the 4th quarter.
I think we'll see a lot of it, and the difference between that and a pass blitz, you're trying to get to the quarterback. You're trying to scheme someone open who will get to the QB and make sure he gets on the ground. In a run blitz, you're actually trying to cover up gaps, trying to cover up holes so they can't run the football.
Again, it's Connor. He'll wind up getting 11 on that one. And it'll be 3rd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
Roethlisberger now to throw on 3rd down. Throw left side, complete to Smith-Schuster. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So on 4th down, out trots the kicker in a big spot here. This to make it a 2-score game. And Boswell's kick is good. And that will push the lead up to double digits now at 10. So his 2nd field goal of the game, and that could turn out to be the big one.
Yeah, you have to make them score twice to beat you, and that's not impossible. But here in the 4th quarter, puts their backs clearly against the wall.
After the successful field goal try, here's Boswell to send it away. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Tampa Bay offense now heading back out onto the field. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Fitzpatrick now to throw on first down. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to find Deshaun Jackson that time. That'll bring up second down. A little too much oomph, too much mustard there on that pass.
They really turned it loose, didn't they? Really cut loose with that one. Sharp, strong. Didn't lead to a completion, though. Made it very difficult.
An incomplete pass leads to 2nd and 10 from the 25.
Hey! Move on!
Throwing again. Fitzpatrick. Pressure comes, and the Steelers take him down. T.J. Watt in there to sack him for a loss of 6.
I remember throughout my career here in defensive coaches always say, guys, you got to earn the right to rush the passer. Well, they put themselves in a great spot with this big lead, and they know they've got to throw the ball.
These pass rushers have to be salivating. It is pin your ears back time indeed. Third and long, Fitzpatrick following the sack. What can he and the gang come up with?
Hey! Blue 45! Forward!
Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
This defense was definitely alert to the possibility of the deep ball, and they were more than ready for it.
They've got the lead, fourth quarter. Maybe can expect more passes like that downfield. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Taken in at the 22. So a change of possession here on the punt. And out will come the offense as they take over. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Trying to sit on a lead and play that way, that doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. And the best way to do it, touchdowns.
On first down, it's Roethlisberger. Got his man complete over the middle. It's James. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. And they'll run it here. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Do my eyes deceive me, or is he getting stronger as this game moves along?
Burst seems just as good here in the fourth as it was way back in the first, doesn't it?
I do believe someone put a lot of time in the offseason and continues to condition during the season in order to continue to carry the ball at this rate.
Right back to him on first down. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. Calling no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. The fourth quarter here, they've got the lead. They want to keep it on the ground. That's what they're doing.
Smart football. Keep the clock grinding. Keep it going. But you got to figure now, they're going to see more people stacked up at the line of scrimmage as they try and bleed it out.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to get across midfield and down into Buccaneer territory. Only a gain of a couple there. That leaves them needing about 7 here on 3rd down.
Bottom line, they want to keep this clock rolling, so they'll take that one right there. They just want to keep falling forward, and they won't put the onus on the big fellas up front in order to bring this one home.
On 3rd down, Roethlisberger. And he'll just toss it away. So he throws it away, and that brings up 4th down.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. Here's Jordan Berry now as he's on to punt for Pittsburgh. Averaging over 50 yards a punt so far as this one's away. Now the Buccaneer offense set to take over again. If you're a fan of punting, and I know that not many people are, but this game kind of turning into one for you.
Well, it's okay if it's a skills contest, right? We're really into it then, but not during the course of an actual game. This has turned into a field position game, though. Sometimes the better punter may actually determine the outcome.
Fitzpatrick on 1st down. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 14-yard line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. The loss of 3 on that 1st down pass play. Now 2nd and 13. From the gun, Fitzpatrick over the middle to Evans. And he'll be about a full yard shy of the 20 at the 19-yard line. That catch good for 5. It's 3rd down.
What terrifies defenses when they see slant routes thrown is that the receiver is on the move, and oftentimes he catches it and gets upfield. Does a really nice job rallying to him and stopping him for a minimal gain. The Steelers insert their nickel defense on 3rd down.
Yeah, they add a DB.
Set. Move 45. Move 45.
They go play action. Fitzpatrick. He's going to wind up and air it out. And that's caught inside the 30. And he takes it down deep into Pittsburgh territory. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And in a 2-score game, obviously, every play, every 3rd down, like we saw there, magnified, big pickup.
It was a huge pickup. What they really want, though, is to not even get to 3rd down. They've got to maximize time and conserve as much as possible.
First and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. And they'll go with the ground attack here. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there.
It'll be interesting to see. Offensive lines had to pass block a lot on this drive. Will they be able to revert and fire out and create some space in the run game?
He'll get it up the middle. And that'll get him halfway there as he takes it from the 6 to the 3-yard line.
Well, sometimes I get caught in hyperbole, but I think they desperately need to punch this one in. They're running out of time.
Yeah, 2-score game, second half, you're down here. This is the time to put it in the end zone.
And not going to get much better than this for an opportunity.
Under 4 to play now. Clock running, third down.
Hey! Blue 45!
Operating from the gun, Fitzpatrick. And he hauls it in for the Buccaneer touchdown. Adam Humphries from 3 yards out. And the Bucs have made this a 1-score game. Well, that's about as quick of a passing touchdown as you'll ever see right there.
Everyone has a section in their playbook called the quick game. That was a super quick game. Out of the hands of the thrower, bam, right to the receiver, successfully for a touchdown.
How in-depth is that quick game part of the playbook?
It's pretty in-depth because people want the ball in the hands of the quarterback into the playmaker's hands downfield as fast as possible. There are a lot of plays, a lot of options involved with that.
Extra point up and good by Catanzaro. And now things get a bit more interesting here in this fourth quarter. So the drive there took 6 plays. And it's all finished off with a touchdown by Tampa Bay. Catanzaro out now as he'll kick this one away. Smith-Schuster now to return. And he'll be taken down just past the 20 at about the 21-yard line. And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. A little less than 4 minutes remaining, and the margin for error is small with this slim lead. Operate within your 4-minute offense here, Charles?
Definitely. And remember, the 4-minute offense doesn't always correspond to what's up on the clock. What they need to do is play a little bit of keep away right now. Run the clock down. Make sure their opponent doesn't get the ball back. Their dream scenario, get enough first downs and make them eat up their timeouts so the game ends when you're kneeling down with the football.
And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. That one good for 14 yards and a Steeler first. Well, that looked like an example of what you said back in the first half. A running back of his size can really wear down a defense. I think he's starting to do that.
I think you're exactly right. And know what else he's doing? He's inspiring the rest of his team because they see this starting to happen as well. So that means they're going to redouble their efforts to help him out. Extra blocking, getting downfield, helping him out.
They go play action here on first down. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one falls incomplete. Looked like he might have had position there, but he couldn't hold on at second down.
There's definitely contact there, but it's the fourth quarter of a kind of tight game, and sometimes the officials just say, let them play. Kind of like your mom used to with you and your brothers. Just take the broom to you and send you out to the backyard and tell you to settle it yourselves.
I like that, yeah. There was contact. I don't know, like you said, enough to warrant the flag. It was close, though. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. Calling no gain on the run there, and now they'll be looking at a 3rd down.
Now, obviously, that's some good work there defensively, being able to stop them and bring it up a key 3rd down. But if you're on the offensive side of the ball, there's an opportunity because I know what defensive guys are thinking right now. Just stop them, get to the ball. That means they might not be sound defensively. There could be some opportunities.
And you said key 3rd down. Highlight that word, put it in bold. Here we go.
And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Time for a break. We'll come back, see what transpires after this. So the Steelers with the football as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. And they'll try the ground game here with the running back. And they'll stop him right on the midfield stripe. And now we'll see a timeout used on defense as they stop it right out of the break with 1:57 to go in the ball game. All right, so the timeout over and all 11 men back out onto the field for the defense. They stay on the ground. Here's Connor again. And for one of the first times tonight, he's going to be held up at the line of scrimmage. And whistles, and we're going to have another stoppage of play as they call the timeout on defense with 1:53 left. So a defensive timeout, chance to regather, regroup, and get set as we resume action. On third down, it's Connor, and he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. And play is stopped here. Timeout. It's the defense calling the timeout here as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. And here's a big one now. Trying to hold this lead. They're going to go for it here on fourth down. They'll try and throw for it with Roethlisberger. That's to his running back, complete. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. That one a backbreaker as they wind up converting there on fourth. Felt compelled to go for it there on fourth down, trailing in the fourth quarter. They got it done.
And there's always a lot of pressure on a fourth down call. Doesn't matter the distance. You still have to get it done, as you noted, and they did.
And they'll run it here. 5 yards is the tally on first down. That brings up 2nd and 5.
But they picked up a little bit of yardage there, and now, in this situation, should be in no hurry to run a play really fast. Let the clock wind down.
And they'll go on the ground. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. It's a gain of 7, and that should just about do it.
He's still rumbling, isn't he? Still looking fresh in this one despite the heavy workload. But you and I both know, well-conditioned, and he did tell us that he thrives on being at his peak late in ball games.
Roethlisberger dropping to a knee, and that ought to do it. Scoring, there's no doubt about that in this one, Charles. Points, they were not at a premium. They were pretty easy to come by.
They were, but it was fun, wasn't it? Because both teams finding ways to click. And you know people who love this game, they also love baseball games that are 14-11 with 3 or 4 home runs mixed in.
So that'll do it for us. For Charles Davis and all our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL on EA Sports. With that, we bid you good night from Tampa.